Hi everyone, welcome back. Our task management app is functional, but we are not done yet. In this episode, we'll ensure everything works perfectly through rigorous testing and is ready to take it live for the world to use. Ready to deploy some magic again? Let's dive in. In this video, you'll learn what Jest is and why unit testing is important, how to configure backend and frontend apps with Jest for unit testing, and how to write unit tests for backend API routes and React components. So, without further delay, let's get started. Before we dive into the code, let's briefly talk about Jest and testing. Jest is a JavaScript testing framework that helps you write reliable and maintainable code by testing its functionality. It's widely used for both backend and front-end applications. And why testing matters in the first place? It ensures reliability. Unit tests help catch bugs early in development, improves code quality. By writing tests, you are forced to think about edge cases and robustness, and simplifies debugging. When something breaks, tests pinpoint the issue quickly. We'll be writing tests for backend to verify API routes work as expected, and frontend to test components and interactions, ensuring the UI behaves predictably and correctly. Alright, let's begin by configuring Jest for the backend testing. Let's ask ChatGPT how to proceed. This last part is important because Jest tests can clutter database with their own output, and we don't want operation of one test to be affecting the other. So that's why I added this question. Let's see what ChatGPT has to respond with. We have a whole bunch of output. Let's see. Okay, so it's recommending us to run the following command to install Jest and related testing libraries, Jest the testing framework, Supertest for testing the HTTP endpoints, and MongoDB memory saver runs an in-memory MongoDB instance for a clean database environment during tests. This is good because that means our tests are not going to be using the task manager database that we were using for our normal workflow. So it is going to be using an in-memory database instead for all the test operations. So let's install the dependencies. Let me go to backend, open a terminal, and while this is installing, I would need to emphasize that providing entire context to ChatGPT that we are based on a Node.js task manager app based on merge stack really helped because then it was able to suggest this MongoDB memory saver operation. Otherwise, it would have given us some generic output which would not have used this specialized tool which we are going to be using now. All right, this step finished. Let's go to the next one. Add a test script to your package JSON. So it's suggesting that we use Jest in the test script instead of a boilerplate text here. Let's go ahead and do it. Next is Jest configuration, creating a Jest config.js file at root of our project. So I'm going to copy code, create this file jest.config.js and paste it. Good. Setting environment for Yes, create a jest.setup.js file to handle global configurations. Okay, so what this file is doing, before starting testing, it is going to create an in-memory database and connect to it. And after each test, it is going to clean any contents from the database. So that way output of any test is not going to affect any other. And after all tests are finished executing, it is going to drop the database, close the connection, and stop the Mongo server it created. So let's configure this as well. It's called jest.setup.js, and it's going to be executed automatically. All right, finally, we have to create a directory for tests like underscore tests, and inside we are going to add this test. Let's go ahead and do it. And inside we can say task routes.test.js and copy and paste the contents. And the final step is to run npm test and see if it works. Npm test. Fingers crossed, just is running. And it is executing the tests in our underscore underscore test underscore underscore folder. Let's see if it works or not. I doubt it, but let's see. Yeah, and it failed. Why? Because we never told ChatGPT about the context in which it should generate this test, right? We asked it to generate configuration for jest, not the test itself. So we never provided it the relevant information about what kind of route file we have or what kind of database schema we are using. So it went ahead and generated the test anyway in its response. Look at this. It is trying to use forward slash API slash task and forward slash API doesn't even exist, right? Let's go back to ChatGPT and this time provided the proper context and provided the necessary information so that it generates correct tests for us. So let's go back and prompt it. Okay, now you have two choices. Either you can attach the code files using the attach file options, or for those who are not using this option, I'm going to demonstrate how to paste the code using text. So for now, I'm going to provide it the entire server.js, task routes.js, and model slash task.js. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. Oh, it generated a bunch of tests this time. Let's see. Oh, I see a problem right away. We never told it we already have just.setup.js file with this after each and after all already written. So let's point it out. Yeah, that was necessary. That was my mistake. I should have attached that. Okay, so let's copy the code and try it out. Okay, some failure occurred. Let's see what happened. App.address is not a function. I think this is something related to the endpoint being defined in server.js. So let's see. Let's seek help of ChatGPT to figure out. Okay, it's always a good idea to again give it entire context because it keeps forgetting, though ideally it should remember, but not taking any chances. Okay, the error occurs because your server.js file doesn't export the app instance. See, it wasn't hitting the app instance with the API. It was doing something else. We never looked at the code, but it was pretty obvious. All right, so now it's suggesting update to server.js, and what's it doing? Yeah, it's exporting the app instance. So it would most probably use the task endpoint on app instance this time. So it gave us both of them. So let's figure it out. I'm going to update server.js with the new file and task routes. Let's do it again. Fingers crossed. My mistake. I failed to save the server.js. Sorry. Okay, this time all tests passed. Awesome. So let's have a look at the tests themselves, what they're doing. This test is now creating a new task with title, description, status, due date, and priority. And thanks to us attaching task.js, the one with our MongoDB schema as a reference, so it was able to create a well-formed task JSON, and then it is doing a request on the app, which represents our server.js, and it is doing a post call on forward slash tasks, right? And it's sending it and expecting a 201 response, which means the request was handled properly and returned a successful response. Now in the response, it is confirming that all the response dot body dot items match those with this object instance, the one in the JSONs. So a successful test means all of this matched, right? Like the body dot description was indeed the object dot description and everything. And also it's now trying to find the entry in the database itself. So it's going one step further to confirm that the object was indeed saved in the MongoDB database and all the entries conform to the one in the new task object. Amazing. And then it created a test which is returning 400 if required fields are missing. So if some required field is missing, like this one is missing the title, it is expecting a 400 response, which means the server correctly interpreted that some required field is missing and generated an error. So good tests, and all of them are passing. So good job, ChatGPT. We can go on producing other tests for other files, but the purpose of this video is not to make a perfect task manager application. It's to let you know how to do it using ChatGPT Assistant. So we are going to leave it at that. We know the process now. So let's move to the front end and let's see how ChatGPT can help us create tests for a React application. Okay, so we are back in our front end and here we are going to do things a bit differently. So first we are going to try and set up just in a generic way in our Vite React app. And let me tell you upfront that just is not, totally compatible with Vite at this moment. So it's going to be a bit tricky in my opinion. But we have ChatGPT to help us, so why worry about this, right? So let's go ahead and prompt it and see what happens. Right, here we go. So first of all, some dependencies to install. Let's start with that. Meanwhile, we go to the next steps. We need to create a Babel RC file. Or Babel RC file with these contents. We can come to this after this installation finishes. Just config.js has to be created. Okay. Yes, that was to be installed. Let's do this side by side. Configure JS, that is done. Setup just DOM, just.setup.js. Done. Write tests. Okay. We can do this here. What's it doing? We don't have any hello. We can prompt it again. Okay, here's a better test which we can try. So let's go ahead and do it. npm test. Oh, it says React is not defined. It's not even importing React. Let's do it ourselves. Import React from React. It gave us a wrong error. Wrong test, sorry. And it failed again. Oh, I think it couldn't find this get by text. Okay, so in our app.jsx, we must have task manager somewhere, right? You would definitely have task manager up front, right? So let's give it a try. Task manager. Okay. And it passed. Our app is configured with jest, and our first test is passing without much hassle. I wasn't expecting it, honestly. I have always experienced pain when trying to configure jest with a Vite project, so that was the best I could dream for. So here we are. Let's go ahead and generate some proper tests now. So let's prompt ChatGPT to do that. Okay, we need to give proper context this time because we want proper tests available with us. So it says it's going to generate tests for render, API calls, interaction, and filter logic tests. Good. Oh, I see a problem upfront. We did not provided schema for our data, so that's why it's generating incomplete values here. So let me fix that as well. Okay, let's see if it is. Yes, see, now it's using all the title, description, status, priority, and due date in our app tests. And what kind of test is it including? Adding a new task with all fields and updating the task list. Good. Edit an existing task and update the task list. Deleting a task. Filtering tasks by status and priority. Alright, they're all good tests. So let's go ahead and give it a try. So we go to app test DS, replace it, fire off npm test. Clearly something didn't go as planned. So let's see if ChatGPT can help us figure out. So let's get this part and tell it. Okay, it says that test cannot find an element labeled with filter by status, which clearly should be there when trying to call. Let's see, we should have this filter by status and it's case insensitive, so that shouldn't have been a problem. So here it is. What's it saying? Oh, we are missing this HTML for status here. Okay, let's go ahead and fix it. So the label wasn't associated with the input with the select element. That's what it is complaining about. Okay, let's fix that for our priority as well. Alrighty, okay. Let's give it another shot. And all tests are passing. Amazing. That was one minor mistake in the code which got fixed with the help of ChatGPT, and now everything is green all the way. Right, let's recap what we achieved today. We configured both backend and frontend of our Task Manager app with Jest for unit testing, created unit test with mocking for backend API, created unit test for frontend React application, and configuration and troubleshooting with ChatGPT. Now that we have ensured everything works perfectly through rigorous testing, it's time to take it live for the world to use. Again, with help of ChatGPT. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next episode.